Good morning, hello, I'm Rachel from I Printed That, and this morning I'm going to share with you how to make jelly prints. It's a print process using these, which are jelly plates. Now I'm going to start by showing you how to use a commercially bought jelly plate. So the ones that I use are by Gelli Arts. You can also get lots of different jelly plates, lots of companies make them. They're also known as gel plates as well. So these are my flexible jelly plate friends. This, as I say, is the bought one. I'm going to start by showing you how to use them, and then I'm going to share with you how to make your own jelly plates using some quite basic materials. So I'm going to start with a background that I've already made up using the gel plate, and I'm going to pop you down so you can see what I'm doing. So I've just got some gouache paint here in a complementary colour to my pink. You just need a few spots, and then I'm just rolling using a rubber roller, rolling it out, nice even coat onto the plate. And then I've got some natural elements. I've got some feathers that I'm going to place down. Just using my background paper, place on top. And there's no need for a printing press with jelly plates. Just use the palm of your hand to make contact with those feathers, the paper and the plate. Going to lift the paper, quickly take out those feathers, back down, and then reveal my print. So I don't know if you can see that, but there's some quite detailed feather prints here. Here's another one that I made earlier. So you get some great details. These jelly plates take texture really well, they take detail really well, and you can layer up all the colours. So that's how to do the printing process. And now I want to share with you how to make your own jelly plates using some really basic ingredients. So I've got some glycerine here, 200 ml of glycerine that you can buy from a chemist. I've got 20 leaves of gelatine. Make sure you use leaves, not powder, because it dissolves so much quicker and you're after a really, really clear plate. I've got my mould, so this is just the top of a cake tin. You can use any type of mould, but just make sure that the base is flat and it's smooth. I can't stress that enough, because it's like an upside down cake. The bottom will actually be your top. Plastic you can use, but the only problem I find with plastic is so many of them already have moulding marks on them. So stick with something like a baking tray, the lid of a cake tin. Use your imagination. I'm sure you've got something in your kitchen cupboards. I've also got 250 ml of boiling water. I've got a bowl to mix it all in and a spoon. So I just want to take you through some of the ingredients and why we're using them. So the glycerine works as a preservative. The gelatine, if you're used to using gelatine in cooking, then you know that 20 leaves for 450 ml of liquid is a lot. And that's what you need, because you need to get that rubbery texture from the plate. And then the water's just to make up the volume. So we can start going. Don't worry about scribbling all this down. This video will be put on the Virtual Village Hall page, so you can pause it, rewind it, fast forward it. I will also put a tutorial onto my website, iprintedthat.com. If you go to my blog, there is a jelly printing tutorial that will give you all the ingredients and the method. So let's start. I've already been soaking my gelatine leaves as per the instructions. So I've soaked them for 5 minutes in water. I'm just going to wring out the excess water and pop them in the bowl. I then add my 250 ml of boiling water. Now I need to do this really, really slowly, because what you don't want to do is create air bubbles. So I'm pouring this really slowly, and the gelatin dissolves straight away. That's why I suggest using leaves rather than powder. So very, very slowly, I'm just mixing them together. Make sure I don't create any air bubbles. So there we go, that's already dissolved. Now I want to put my glycerine in. So all the materials, all the ingredients that I'm using are non-toxic. So I'm quite happy to use my everyday baking utensils. But if you prefer, you can use an old bowl. So again, I'm just going to put my glycerine in just a little bit at a time, stirring between intervals, very slowly so as not to create those air bubbles. A little bit more glycerine. Stir it again. Now this should be absolute torture for me because I am quite impatient. I'm very much a just tip it all in, mix it all together kind of girl. But it's actually quite therapeutic just mixing it, and the swirls that you get from the glycerine and the gelatin all mixing together is quite relaxing. So my last little bit of gelatin going in there. And just stir it once more, very carefully. And it's ready to go in its mould. So what I'm going to do is put it back into the measuring jug. Again, really slowly so as to not create air bubbles. And some of it's on the floor now. That's it. And this is my mould, just the top of a cake tin. Pour it very, very gently, and you're looking to get about 1 centimetre's depth of the mixture into your mould. So now I'll leave that for a couple of hours just to set at room temperature, and then after that I put it in the fridge overnight so it goes really, really cold. Then it's so much easier to get out of the mould. All you need to do, I've got one here, is just start by lifting up the edges. This is after you've left it in the fridge overnight. Lift up all the edges, and then it will come out really easily. So just be careful not to mark any of those edges or mark any of the surfaces, because that will affect your print. So that's what the jelly plate looks like, the homemade one, when it comes out of the fridge. I tend to put it on just a piece of acetate or greaseproof paper while I'm working. So now I'm going to show you how to use your homemade jelly plates. Just mop up my mess. So if you've just joined us, we're doing a print making process today called jelly printing. We've made our own jelly plates using gelatin and glycerin and water. If you'd like the ingredients for this, you can go to my website, iprintedthat.com. If you go to the blog, there's a tutorial with all the details of how to make this. If you like watching a video, then this video will stay on Virtual Village Facebook page, so you can pause it, rewind it, fast forward it, make notes as you need to. So with our jelly plate on a flat surface, I'm just going to pop you down so you can see how I use it. So I'm just using a water-based gouache paint, put just a few drops onto my jelly plate, and then using a roller, just rolling it out to get a nice even coating. going to put a little bit more on. If you're watching live today, please say hi in the comments. It'd be lovely to hear from you, know where you are in the country or in the world. And also, if you think that this is an activity maybe a crafty friend of yours would like, then please do share or tag them in the comments. So I'm just going to lay my feathers on top. Grab a piece of paper and using my hand like a printing press, I'm just making contact with the paper and the jelly plate. So that will give me my first silhouette print, but I want to add some detail. So I'm going to take those feathers off, put my paper back down, and then smooth all over the back to reveal those prints. So from something really, really simple, you can get some really quite photographic, detailed prints. So it's over to you. You can use so many things for making these prints. Think anything that's got that can make an imprint. So bubble wrap works really well, lace, feathers, petals, string. Really just use your imagination and go for it. So it's over to you. I would love to see your photos of any jelly prints that you make. Please, you can put them in the comments. Please tag me at @IPrintedThat, and I will look forward to seeing you next time. Thank you very much. Bye.